Hello, it's Michelle from Letters and Loops. Today I'm going to compare two sets of small brush pens. As you've probably seen on everyone's Instagram, Tombow USA has released a line of their Fudes in Color, which have been long waited for. If you notice, they come in a whole rainbow of colors, which is kind of nice, and they're all the hard tip. With their black Fudes, it comes in the option of hard and soft tip. So if you're more of a fan of these hard tip, these are definitely a good bet for you. And then with the Kelly Creates, can't quite see all the colors there. You're gonna just see a light, so sorry. But they don't come with quite a rainbow. And you will see those more as we compare them. But one thing I've noticed just in the little bit that I've used Tombows compared to the Kelly Creates, which I've had for a few months, is that the tip is softer on the Kelly Creates. So if you're more of a fan, softer tip is a better option. And they don't have a full rainbow of colors, but they do have some pretty shades. So it's up to you what kind of colors you want to work with. Might factor into your decision of which brand to buy. So we'll start with the Tombow Pink. Now, when I first started lettering, I preferred a soft tip when it came to these small brush pens. But now I'm more partial to the hard tip. I feel like it's easier to get those nice, thin, crisp lines. Now, I might not be able to read the colors on all of these. This one is called Blossom, and it's the closest Kelly Creates to the pink that comes in the Tombow. So I'll just put those closer together so you can compare the shades there. They are pretty similar, a little bit of tone difference. So next for Tombow, we have the classic red. And Kelly Creates does not come with a red, but this shade of Berry has a more reddish tone to it than the Blossom does. Okay, next. And if you notice, well, I guess the cap is actually closer. To me, the cap looks more like it'd be a neon pink, and it's not. It's a little more reddish and darker than I thought it would be. But that happens. Next is orange for Tombow, and there's not an orange in the Kelly Creates to compare to. I actually really like this shade of orange. And I don't know if it's really noticeable on the camera because it's kind of subtle, but there is a very slight gradient in color in these Tombow. Let's see. Oh, you can actually see it a little bit in the Kelly Creates as well. It's very subtle, but it's kind of nice. Now this color is called Sunshine. It's a very standard yellow. Now, I personally don't use this shade of yellow a lot because it's hard to read. But it is very bright and cheery. Tombow also has a shade of yellow, which Looks like it would be a bit darker by the color of this tip, but it's essentially the same as sunshine over there. So we'll compare these side by side too. Yeah, they're essentially the exact same color. And then we have a light green. I can't see what the original name was called here, so we'll just write L green for light. It's a very pretty shade. And then we have just normal green, which is actually pretty comparable to the last shade of Kelly Creates. We'll compare the next shade of green with this one too. Set that aside. We have this dark green. Okay, so this is more of a emerald. That might be what it was called. Yeah, so the three greens we have. So the Kelly Creates light green color, I'm not sure what it's actually called. It has a slight olive-y tone to it compared to the Tombow green, which is pretty standard light green color. Next we have Blue by Tombow. And then we have, oh, I can read this one. It's called Sky by Kelly Creates. It's a nice bright blue. So we'll compare these when we get the next shade of blue as well. For Tombow next is purple or violet, depending on what you like to call it. And then we have this one's called Ocean, which we'll write over here because it's gonna overlap otherwise. So it looks like Ocean is a closer match to the Tombow blue. So I'd say the Tombow blue is about in the middle of the two blues that you get in the Kelly Creates box. Then next for Tombow we have brown. There's not a brown in the Kelly Creates. It's actually a very nice shade of brown. It's almost the same color as my desk, but it has a very orangey tone to it. And then this color is called Grape by Kelly Creates. It's a very pinkish purple. It kind of reminds me of Barney, to be honest. We'll compare that to the Tombow purple. The Tombow purple is more of, at least what I think of, a classic purple. Okay, and then next we have gray from Tombow. this one is also called gray, which this looks like it's more of a warm gray for the Kelly Creates and a cool gray for the Tombow. And I once again turned the light up brighter. Sorry about that. And last but not least, we have black. And black should look pretty much the same in both colors, but we'll compare them anyway. Okay, and we will show berry and red next to each other to make this match a little bit better. Okay, so these are all the colors you can get with the two pens. They both come with 10. Like I said, the Tombow has a harder tip, which for me, it's easier to get nice thin lines, hairlines with that. The Kelly Creates have a softer tip, which some people prefer, and then just depending on what kind of colors you want, Kelly Creates does give you some really fun colors, but you don't get that full rainbow effect that you get with the Tombow. So it really just comes down to personal preference there. Yeah, I definitely recommend either of these brands. They should both, they're not waterproof, but you can write over watercolor pieces with them and they won't bleed into the watercolor, which is really nice. Which actually I can show you an example of that. This paper was just one I was testing out some new colors on, so I'll show you that in a second. But one thing to keep in mind is if you are using them with watercolor, you can't watercolor over them because they are still water based, so they will bleed if you put water on them. But unlike the normal Tombow dual brush pens, you can write on watercolor and it won't bleed. So for example, yeah, please ignore my doodles. And now if you see, let's see if it'll focus, you don't get the bleeding that you would get with a normal Tombow pen. And you can do the same thing with the Kelly Creates. Let me use this color. So that's one thing that's really nice about these compared to the dual brush pens, if you're a big fan of that. So yes, the biggest difference here is the type of tip and the choice of colors you get. Price wise, I actually don't remember the difference in price here because I bought these quite a while ago. Oops. And I got the Tombow Feuds in the Tombow VIP box. So the choice is really yours. Quality is pretty similar from what I've used them for. It's just a matter of colors and what kind of writing tip you prefer. So I hope that was helpful. Feel free to leave a comment or message me on Instagram or on my email, lettersandloops@gmail.com. If you have any suggestions for future tutorial videos or reviews of products that I have. And I would love to do that for you. Have a good day.